Hi everyone, welcome back. Thanks for tuning into the channel again. Thanks so much to the subscribers from the last video. It really is great to see you all comment on the videos personally and give kind of feedback on what it is that you want to see from future videos. So I thought I'd start off today's video by talking a little bit about the equipment that I use in photography. Since I started about 6 years ago, I started off with the Canon 1200D, which I still have. It was back when I was using it, a camera that fulfilled every need that I wanted from photography. It had a lot of automatic functions, but it also allowed you to manually change the settings to whatever situation that you were in. The camera itself wasn't expensive. I think I paid about 300 to 400 quid for it at the time. Depending on what your kind of budget is at the moment. I know people are kind of strapped for cash and whatnot, but that is a starter camera I was happy to pay. I do know that a lot of different providers can offer installment plans for cameras, lenses and whatnot these days. So if you do have the cash to get something of that caliber, it's a great starter camera and you will get a lot of use out of it. The Canon 1200D done everything that I wanted it to. The lenses were fine, they were just kit lenses, they weren't anything special. Fine for astrophotography, fine for day-to-day photography. So it done what it needed to do and I was very, very happy with it, so much so that I've kept it just as not as a backup camera, but it's just there. And I don't think I would ever get rid of it. It wasn't a lot of money. And when I was waiting for my other camera to arrive, I used that as a backup. And I was happy with the images that I was getting from it again. So that was that. I started off with that. I started off with a very cheap tripod, 1 or 2 memory cards, which, you know, they were about 15, 20 quid each, something like that. The tripod wasn't expensive. I think I paid about 20 quid for that from Amazon. And I think I had 1 extra battery with it. That was my basic setup and, you know, I didn't need anything more. When I decided to upgrade, when the Canon 1200D wasn't kind of hitting the spot anymore, it wasn't getting the images that I was wanting, I decided to upgrade to the Canon 6D Mark II, which was a full frame camera. I was disappointed right from the get-go, right from the beginning. It was very disappointing. The results that I was getting on the camera were not impressive. The focusing was very, very bad. The dynamic range was shockingly bad. So much so that I really did not like going out with the Canon 6D Mark II. It was very heavy, it was awkward. There were so many negatives about that camera, it's hard to find a positive really. So I had that for about a year. Year and a bit, something like that. And then a few photographer friends of mine, they upgraded to the Fuji system, notably the X-T3, which was a mirrorless system. I have to admit I was reluctant to swap from Canon, given that I really like the 1200D. Yeah, I decided to make the jump and I traded in the Canon 6D Mark II, the lenses that I had with it, and I upgraded to the Fuji X-T3, which I absolutely love. It is a spectacular camera, great in your hands. It's here we go. That is my fabulous X-T3 with a kit lens, which is the 18 to 55 kit lens. I'm not going to go into the specifications of the camera and what it can and can't do, just to say that there's plenty of other people more qualified than me who've got much more information on YouTube about these cameras, who will give you all the technical specifications and what it can and can't do. I'm bowled over by the X-T3. Fabulous camera, fabulous kit lenses. I've also got the Fuji 55-200 lens, which again is superb. It's very much a go-to lens, as is the 80-55 kit lens. Superb lenses. And I also bought the Samyang 12mm for astrophotography and nighttime stuff, which again is cheap, it's small, it's brilliant, great quality, great images. I'm so impressed with the Fuji system, it's unreal. It was about 13 to 1400 quid, which I upgraded to, and I was happy to pay that, just simply because the more your photography progresses, the more kind of you want a specialist camera to fulfill that need and for to get better pictures, to get the right image what you want. Yeah, it's a special camera and it's a lot of money, I appreciate that, but it does what I want it to. And yeah, the only bad thing about the Fuji X-T3 is that it eats the batteries. I mean, I've got so many batteries for the X-T3, but that is the only downfall. Otherwise, I absolutely love it. It's great, my friends love it. Great to feel light. It's fab, I love it, it's great. Some of the other equipment that I've got for the Fuji, like I said before, lots of batteries, lots of memory cards, which, you know, I've got plenty of these days. What else? Still got a cheap tripod. I really do need to invest in a better tripod. This is the cheapest thing you could find on Amazon. Given that I've got an expensive camera, I should have an expensive tripod, but nah. It still works, I like it, it's fine. Lens warmer for the colder months, which, you know, for doing star trails, for doing astrophotography, northern lights hunting, different things outdoors during the colder months. A lens warmer, very cheap, very cheerful, goes around the lens, keeps it nice and warm, helps to prevent mist build-up fog build-up on your lens. What else have I got? I think that's about it. That's the basics. Something that I totally forgot about. Really important. In my next video, I'm going to be talking about how to improve your photography and little hints and tips on how to get better photographs with your phone and with your digital cameras or anything like that. But in order for you to get the best out of the images that you take, one bit of equipment that I haven't mentioned, which I think is really important, is definitely the software that you use for post-processing your images. So when you've taken your pictures with your camera or your phone or whatnot, on the whole, if you're shooting in RAW, the image that you see on your camera, generally, I find, isn't the one that you see with your naked eye. So you need to do some processing of that image, and the software that I use and a lot of other photographers use is Adobe Lightroom, which is kind of like a Photoshop style of editing software. Now again, there is a cost to that. I pay, I think it's £9.99 or something a month for that across the year, and you get the option to kind of review your subscription, if you will, at the end of each year. But in that package, you get Adobe Lightroom, you get Adobe Photoshop, and so many other programs of the Adobe range for to help with their video editing software and whatnot. It's a great deal. It's well worth buying it to edit your images, just to see what you can pull back from what you've seen with your eyes, and that will encourage you to think, oh well, you know, okay, well, that's how I'm going to kind of go about things. I'm going to use photo editing software to help improve my photography. I think it's a very important piece of your kit, is the post-processing software. Lightroom isn't difficult to use. I used that right from the beginning and I found it very easy, and I think the affordability of it really will attract many people. So certainly, if you're going to give your photography a good go, then if you can buy a DSLR camera, you know, for a couple £100 or a second-hand one, take the jump, do it, make sure it works, buy yourself a couple of memory cards, a nice tripod, go out, start shooting, spend your £9, £10 a month on your photo, determined what to say, video editing software, your photo editing software, Lightroom, and see how you get on. Certainly, it's exciting. I love editing photos. I love coming home from taking a lovely picture and doing the post-process, and I think it's brilliant. One thing I've just just remembered what I'd forgotten. My Fuji X-T3 has an inbuilt intervalometer. The Canon 1200D needed an external intervalometer, shutter release cable. The Fuji doesn't need that, which is why I'd forgotten. If you're doing some astrophotography or long exposures, sometimes you'll need an external shutter release cable, which you can pick up for a few quid. If you do have a more specialist camera that has an inbuilt one, you won't need to worry about that. But if you're doing some nighttime stuff or photographs that require long exposures, you will need a shutter release cable, which again, like I said, a couple of quid, Amazon, no problem. It's just another bit of your kit, really. Certainly, that's all I'm using at the moment. No filters, nothing more expert than that, to be fair. I hope you've enjoyed the video. I did waffle on a little bit, but I'm sure I'll get better at that. Please subscribe, hit the subscription button, hit the bell button, so you get alerted when the next video is out, which will be very soon, and I'm hoping to give you more tips on how to improve your photography. Thanks guys, bye.